My name is Tomi Virolainen and I'm coming from Plytec company. I would say most of you have never heard about the name. And we used to be with the JP colleagues working for UPM. And plywood business has been so far increasing business every year. So the growth is 2 or 3%. And nowadays the big companies as well are starting thinking about automation, smart machines, and also about the camera techniques that can be utilized in real production. So I will show you some examples about how we have utilized the cameras and what are the smart machines nowadays in plywood business. So JP was giving me the topic, and then I was thinking about what should I say about this, because the measurements of veneer surface quality, nobody has done it yet, because it hasn't been so interesting. But nowadays we know the techniques, we know the components, and we know the customers, and then now they would like to be interested in developing these things. About us, we are a manufacturing company, to be exact. Actually, Plytec is an engineering company, and our turnover is 7 million euros, and we have a long history since 1980. And for you, many of those customers might be familiar, but they are the biggest players on this market at the moment. And UPM used to be the leader, but now there is a Russian company, Svesa, which produces over 1 million cubic meters, and it's twice as big as UPM nowadays. Okay, about the main statements, I will go through these quickly, because we must concentrate on the smart issues. But what we do, we have a long experienced designers, and we sell projects, we plan them, and we have the project management, and all of our projects are tailored product and services, because all the factories are limited space and they are old ones. And nowadays there are new greenfield projects coming in Russia and as well as in Brazil. And what we do, we are close to customers. We hear their voices and we're trying to find out solutions for them, because we have to make our own money. Okay, so about a couple things about the smart machines. So about a little bit plywood process, it seems that this is just a piece of machinery. What kind of, mites se ei näy? Se ei vaan näy. Okay, so I had the good pictures and about our latest projects, but I must say then that what we are concentrated on veneer handling. So in plywood, it's always feeding veneers, doing the process. Is it drying? Is it patching? Is it scarf jointing? Or is it refining veneers? Then we have the modest new layup lines where we have used a new camera technique, and those 3 lines are now under process, and one of them are in full production. Then we have the scarf jointing lines, and what we are good at, that we have proven concept that when you go to see a new customer, we can have and say that we have good references. And what is the thing about in this business is about the increase the yield and cut the costs, and then make more money out of it. We still have the picture here, but not can be seen. I had the 3 pictures about and layouts about our newest projects, but unfortunately cannot be seen. And how about this now? So we are a small and we are an innovating company, and our basic standard is that we do the design and someone else do the work. And what we do and what we have done, so we have a huge networks and small companies, because our biggest competitor is Raute, and it is well known in Finnish markets as well. So they are big enough to do it by themselves. And what we would like to continue is continuous learning in cooperation with most demanding customers and with most demanding new technologies that we want to bring into our machinery and the benefits the customer can get. Then about the veneer quality, and this is one of the toughest end uses where plywood is used. It is LNG tanker, and it's liquefied natural tanker, and the temperature inside the tanker is minus 163 degrees, and outside it can be plus 40. So the difference between the temperatures can be 200 degrees. So where plywood is used, it is used when they are making these insulated boxes. And one of the best factories in the world is located in Joensuu. Actually, Joensuu plywood mill is quite small, but they have the best quality, and half of their production is coming from LNG tankers. So that is kind of niche product, high price, customer service, and extremely good quality. Then about the veneer quality is made in a plywood process. And before I start making this presentation, I was reading the newest science publics, and there was Antti Rohuman's doctoral thesis, and it was said clearly, it is always known that bond formation and performance in veneer-based products is highly dependent on the veneer quality, and which in turn can be affected by processing factors. So this is what we are looking for now, and I can show you how we have utilized these camera techniques in our process. As I said, that we are a mechanical engineering company, and we have outsourced our automation, and this is our closed automation partner who has developed together with us this machine vision system. For you, this might sound that this is a piece of cake, but this is nowadays cost effective, and it is working because during the process we need to handle millions of veneers, and this must be really robust. And what is the basic techniques? There is a line camera, then there is a proper lighting, and then there is a computer analyzing. Only 5 minutes. So these are now our machinery, and I can show you that nowadays every single machine will have their own control system. There is one veneer here, not this one. And every single veneer is checked before it can go through the process. And after that, it goes to the next process, and the same thing will happen again. Every time it will be checked, because standard plywood panel has 13 layers, and if we miss one layer, so we have to reject the whole panel. So that's why nowadays this thing is being a big issue at the moment for the manufacturers. So what can be done, and the next slide will be what cannot be done, and that is the challenge. If you have already a good solution, so we could bring together it to the customer, and so the benefits. And still there is the Mr. Rohuman's doctoral thesis, and it is easily to say that if we can scan this veneer about the topography, about the surface roughness, about the wood splinters, so the plywood manufacturers would easily be saving money in their process, and we are talking about always million euros per factory. So that would be a good challenge, that are there now a good scanning techniques available? This material is very unique. There are holes, there are knots, there are roughness, and there are wood splinters. So the camera, the speed of the line is always 2 meters per second or even more. So it will be scanning quite fast computer analyzing, making the decision, and then the feedback goes always back to the previous process. And then great potential for commercializing. We are not talking about here millions like in IT business or mobile business, but if you already have a solution, so we could be a good partner to go together to talk to big ones. So if you remember something about Plytec and this need, please contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, Tomi.
So it was quite brief. Usually it would take 40 minutes to go deeper and deeper, but I had to make it quite fast.
Time to questions. I think that there is some comments. I guess that is Kimmo, of course.
You had already solutions for this, so.
Yes. Do you know an Oulu-based company called Forest&Photonics?
No.
They are providing fast topography and surface roughness measurements.
And they have already ready solutions for that?
Yes, they have commercialized this technology. They provide products, but of course it has to be checked whether it's suitable for you.
Yeah. So I will get the name and address from you.
So Forest&Photonics is also member of Photonics Finland, so there is plenty of other companies who can cooperate with them. Any other question or comments? So it's very interesting to see that there is that quality management. So what kind of improvements it is possible to make, the point of view about this veneer? So can you estimate that what could be the, how to
So nowadays customers who are using plywood as a part of their system, they can be scanning those panels by it's not X-ray, it is ultrasound detector, and they can find out the holes if there are any insight, and what they are doing that they are claiming quite easily. And the costs are quite high when it's already in there, in this, because they have read their Six Sigma quite well. And the demanding inside the plywood, which cannot be seen, it is getting higher and higher all the time. And that's why Finnish plywood producers have been ahead of the Russians, because they are thinking the whole panel that's inside it. Russians, they just want to say and show just a pretty face. But they are learning as well, because the demand customers, because always the properties are extremely high in these, where the load can be at the maximum level, and the damage can be quite huge at the final end use area.
My role in this organization is to make the stupid questions. So
There are no stupid, only stupid answers.
so I have always wondered why birchwood plywood is so good compared to other tree species.
Yeah, it's about the density, it is about the strength properties, it is about the cutting and peeling behavior. It just works quite well. And the area where the birch is growing, it's Finland, Baltic states and Russian area, so it's quite local where the raw material is utilized. In Sweden there are no plywood factories which are using birch as a raw material.